The next halving occurs in April 2024 in a few weeks. The block reward will halve or decrease by half, which will give miners 3.125 of newly minted Bitcoin per validated block. Okay, so what the heck does all of that even mean? Well, it's actually much simpler than it sounds if we understand three key concepts about Bitcoin and the Bitcoin network. Concept 1, the Bitcoin blockchain. The Bitcoin blockchain is basically a live running record of all the Bitcoin transactions. And the simplest way to understand what blockchain means is by separating the word block from the word chain. So imagine records of individual transactions, like payments sent to or from one person to another, getting listed or recorded one after the other. And once a certain amount of transactions in the list has been reached, a block is formed, which works out to a new block of Bitcoin transactions being created every 10 minutes or so. So once the maximum amount of transaction data for a block has been met, the block is added behind a previous block of transactions. Now we can imagine these blocks of transaction records linked together similar to a chain. So blockchain is simply groups of transaction data that are linked together. And the basic structure of the Bitcoin blockchain consists of a network of computers around the world with Bitcoin software installed on them. And when Bitcoin transactions occur, the data is spread around this network of computers that validate the transaction, add the transaction to their copy of the running ledger of Bitcoin transactions, and then broadcast the new version of the ledger with the new transactions to the other computers on the network, which brings us to concept 2. Bitcoin mining. Bitcoin mining is the process that computers, a part of the Bitcoin blockchain network, use to verify new transactions to ensure the accuracy, immutability, and ultimately the security of the entire network. These computers are called miners, and the mining process requires miners to follow a proof-of-work consensus protocol, where computer processing power is used to solve and create cryptographic hashes, which is what links the blocks of transactions together. So new blocks of transactions have a unique hash from the previous block, and to get published to the ledger, it requires the creation of another unique hash, which will go through a validation process and then get passed on to the next block, and so on and so forth. To create a new unique hash for the block of transactions, miners compete with each other using computer power to try to be the first one to come up with the hash. So without getting too technical with details of the mining process, the basic concept we need to know to understand the Bitcoin halving event is that miners are rewarded with Bitcoin each time they verify a new block of transactions. These rewards are in place to incentivize people to participate in the mining process to ensure the Bitcoin network continues to be audited and essentially maintained. And the mining rewards are a combination of newly minted Bitcoin that were not previously circulating and transaction fees of Bitcoin that were already circulating, which brings us to concept 3. The Bitcoin supply. There is a fixed supply of Bitcoin programmed into the protocol that cannot be changed. So the total number of Bitcoin that can ever exist is 21 million units, which means over time, with a fixed supply and steady or increased demand over time, the value of Bitcoin will increase, which is what we have been experiencing now over the past few months with the increased demand for Bitcoin from spot Bitcoin ETF approvals. The amount of Bitcoin available for big institutions to buy in large quantities without affecting the price using OTC desks or over-the-counter desks is at all-time lows, which means they will have to start buying Bitcoin from public exchanges, and those purchases will have a direct effect on the price, causing it to rise. So circling back to what the Bitcoin halving is, the amount of new Bitcoin entering circulation, halving or being cut in half in the midst of all of this unprecedented demand, what effect will it have on the price? Hello, I'm Crypto Casey, and in this video we are going to learn more about the Bitcoin halving, explore what has happened before and after previous Bitcoin halving cycles, and why this time around could be a lot different. Let's hit it. Please be sure to check out our sponsors, Morales Money, CoinLedger, and Tangent Wallet. Know when to buy, sell, and hold crypto with the Moneyline tool we've been using for several months now to monitor bullish and bearish trends in the market, as well as find altcoin gems before they pump with Morales Money, which is a whopping 75% off for a limited time using the link below. Get your crypto taxes done quickly and easily in 3 simple steps with CoinLedger, a platform we can use for free to see an overview of our gains and losses, as well as download the